born in San Cristobal, Venezuela. In 2001, my family moved to Texas. I was 8 years old. I'm a child split in pieces. When I turned 16, I divided myself in half. Half a child in Venezuela, the other half in the United States. I'd like to believe that I grew up to a bilingual, multiracial, binational, tricultural, multi-talented goddess. But that's not how the world works out. To be split is to be broken, and being broken is never easy. If I go back more generations, my identity gets more complex. I'm the immigrant child of immigrants. My father was born in Hong Kong, and at 3 years old, he moved to Venezuela. He grew up in Caracas and didn't see China until he was in his 20s. When such an emphasis is placed on geography when it comes to identity, it's no surprise that children who do not know where they are from feel like something important is missing. But as the years passed, I grew tired of that feeling, and from that emptiness grew anger. I came to Macalester because of their intentional emphasis on multiculturalism and the percentage of international students. I thought that being surrounded by people from so many different places would help me identify myself within the scope of the larger world. Whenever I tell people my family history, they say, "Wow, you're so Macalester." And it always takes me aback. Although this wasn't their intention, "Wow, you're so Macalester," always made me feel like I was here because of my heritage, not because of my accomplishments or because of my potential. On paper, the multidimensionality of identity looks simple. As easy as picking checkboxes. Female, non-white Hispanic, Asian/Pacific Islander, permanent resident alien. But like all things, the reality of identity is messy. My main passport is from the UK. I speak to my sister exclusively in English. I speak to my mother exclusively in Spanish. Zayed, the Target cashier, insisted that I am in fact Indian. The lady selling me a magazine at the airport bookstore asked me where I'm from, and when I say Texas, she asks, "But where are you really from?" I am often the sole student of color in a classroom, and I still sometimes wonder if the only reason I got into the school is because I'm a multicultural domestic student of color who was born in a developing nation, hitting the jackpot by the Macalester standards. You see, when I stepped foot on this campus for the first time, I looked around and thought to myself, "Wow, there are so many white people here." This probably sounds foreign to a lot of you, but my little slice of the American dream was Houston, Texas, the most diverse city in the United States. My graduating class in high school had about 10 white students out of 200, and it wasn't until I got to Macalester that my skin color became so obvious to me. For the first time ever, I would sit in a class where I was the only student of color. I always remembered, as if I had forgotten, that I was brown. Sometimes I thought I got handpicked to be here because of my background, and it was discouraging to think of myself as a number rather than as a human being. My identity as a percentage on paper diminished my life story and the countless journeys that brought me here to a number. I was angry and I didn't know how to let that anger out. The anger led to action, and the action led to enlightenment. I was curious about who I was in the world, about what I could do to educate others, about the questions I could ask to encourage people to see me as more than just a token brown girl. That's how I started learning about my identity, about what my existence represents and reflects, about what it means to be an Asian woman, what it means to be Latina, about what it means to be an immigrant in the United States. I was angry and I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to be heard. The summer before my freshman year, I applied to be in the Department of Multicultural Life program, Pluralism and Unity. There, I was able to learn how to put words to my sorrow and anger of people who experience similar and different struggles. Spring semester of my freshman year, I applied to be an RA, and fall of my sophomore year, I became one. Although I'd never thought of myself as a leader, last year I found that my voice could be heard on campus and within other circles. That I was an important part of this campus, and that multiculturalism is more than being a token brown friend. It's about sharing, about asking, and about caring about the experiences of people different from you. I realized that my words could be as politically charged as my thoughts, and that gave me strength. My anger grew into passion and translated into words that can inspire others, because we are all the journeys that brought us here, not the numbers, not the statistics. So I leave you with this. Understand that your presence on this campus is not passive. The word diversity is passive. The word multiculturalism is active. I'm here to share my story and to listen to others because I believe everyone has a meaningful perspective that I cannot even begin to imagine. Being white or American or whatever else doesn't make you boring. By saying that you're boring because you're from the suburbs, you're pervading the exotification of non-white individuals, liking our lives to fantasy when we are in fact people. Respect and close listening is what it takes to make this world a more multicultural place. Diversity is a lot of different people in a room. Multiculturalism happens when they talk. My best friends on this campus are from completely different parts of the world and have entirely different goals in mind for me. It takes courage to share your story and your perspectives, but it is from that sharing that you learn about yourself, and more importantly, remind others of their own importance and encourage them to enrich your knowledge and your compassion. In the campus center and in the dirty hallways, I have heard stories of life in Bangladesh, Cameroon, Kansas, Seattle, Morocco, Iowa, Minnesota, California, etc. But in my head, I don't keep a map. I keep the faces and the voices of the friends who inspired me to share this story with you. Thank you.